السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته، ومساكم الله بالخير وأهلا بكم في حلقة جديدة من برنامجكم الأسبوعي حوار في ساعة. هذه الحلقة تأتيكم من معقل البرسا الكامب نو، ونحن هنا لإجراء حوار خاص وحصري مع رئيس نادي برشلونة ساندرو روسell. ولكن قبل بدء الحوار نشاهد التقرير التالي.
هو ساندرو روسيل الرئيس 39 في تاريخ نادي برشلونة الإسباني. ولد ألكساندرو روسيل في 6 مارس عام 1964 في كاتالونيا، وهو رجل أعمال إسباني ورئيس نادي برشلونة الحالي. حصل على درجة الماجستير في إدارة الأعمال، ولا يزال الجمهور الكتالوني يتذكر أنه من تمكن في جلب النجم البرازيلي المعروف رونالدينيو إلى ملعب النو كامب عندما كان نائبا للرئيس. انضم روسيل للنادي في العام 2003 نائبا للرئيس السابق خوان لابورتا، وتعهد على نفسه بالحصول على كبرى الصفقات على مستوى نجوم العالم، من ضمنها جلب ديفيد بيكهام، قبل أن يتوجه الأخير إلى الغريم التقليدي الملكي الريال مدريد، رغم تعهدات روسيل بنجاح الصفقة بما نسبته 80%، لتكون بعدها وجهة تعويض روسيل بالنجم البرازيلي رونالدينيو، مستفيدا من صداقته مع أحد أبرز راقصي السامبا في ذلك العام. في يونيو 2005 ظهرت بعض بوادر خلافات بين روسيل ولابورتا، استقال على إثرها روسيل من منصبه نائبا للرئيس، واتهم لابورتا بعدم تنفيذ الخطة الأساسية للنادي، ورغم أن النادي الجماهيري فاز بلقب الدوري في ذلك العام. في العام 2006 أصدر كتابه بنفينغوت، مرحبا بكم في العالم الحقيقي، وفي التوقيت الذي كان فيه برشلونة على وشك الوصول إلى نهائي دوري أبطال أوروبا، والذي فاز فيها في نهاية المطاف. كان ينظر المتابعون والنقاد إلى ذلك الكتاب على أنه الهجوم المباشر على رئيس النادي لابورتا، بعد أن عاد روسيل للكشف عن المشاكل التي دفعته إلى تقديم الاستقالة. بعد استقالته كان ساندرو روسيل ناقدا لعمل خوان لابورتا، ومقللا من طريقة تعامله مع المشاكل في برشلونة، ويدعي أن ذلك ينسحب على جميع المجالات للنادي. قال: كان هناك فوضى مطلقة. في 27 من يونيو أعلن روسيل وخلال مؤتمر صحفي أنه يعتزم الذهاب في حملة لرئاسة نادي برشلونة في انتخابات العام 2010 بعد انتهاء مرحلة خوان لابورتا. وفي نفس الوقت كان لابورتا على وشك مواجهة اقتراح بسحب الثقة الناجمة من حركة أوريول التي دعمت روسيل. لابورتا نفسه اتهم روسيل بالوقوف وراء تلك الحركة لتزيد حدة الخلافات بين القطبان المتصارعان للاستحواذ بشرف رئاسة النادي الكتالوني. وفي 13 من يوليو 2010 حقق روسيل أحد أهدافه عندما انتخب رئيسا لنادي برشلونة في أكثر من 60% من الأصوات، مستبدلا بذلك حقبة صديقه القديم خوان لابورتا. في يوليو عام 2012 أكد روسيل أن ناديه برشلونة قد حقق أرباحا قياسية بلغت 45 مليون يورو عن المواسم السابقة، في إشارة واضحة على القدرات التسويقية والفكر المختلف الذي جاء به بعيدا عن الآلية التي كان يتعامل بها الرئيس السابق.
Mr. Sandro Rosell, President of Barcelona Club, thank you first of all to have us here in this great club. And
more than welcome.
In this nice location.
Yes. No, I have to say the stadium from here is beautiful, but and you are more than welcome to be here with us.
Yeah, thank you very much. You know, we were talking about your journey in Barcelona club. It started not long time ago, but part time when you are a ball boy in this stadium in Camp Nou.
Long time.
And not in a long time. Until now, it has been a fascinating. And what are the biggest changes have been have you seen here in the club in the last decade?
Well, in the last decade or in the last 40 years? I mean,
40 years.
Well, in the last, since I born, or since I used to be ball boy when I was 10 years old up to now, the club changed dramatically. I would say that 40 years ago it was a very local club, and now I would say it's a very global club that has more than 300 million supporters all over the world. That thanks to new technologies, of course, it helped a lot, TV reaching all the countries, but also because of the fact that, thanks God, we had during the last 10 years the best players in the world, I would say, and they did a very nice game, they did a very nice performance, and by winning, of course, it helps people to be part of your family. And basically what changed is that we are now taking the results of 30 years investment in La Masia, in our youth academy. This is an idea that started, as I said to you, 35 years ago. You have to be very passionate, you have to wait and see, and this club was very passionate, and after 30 years the results came, especially with Xavi, Iniesta, Messi, Puyol, Víctor Valdés, Jordi Alba, Busquets, Piqué, etc., Cesc. And this is the result of 35 years working, being with passion, and waiting for the results, and they finally arrived. And this is the nice story of Barcelona, that somebody started this 35 years ago, and now we are getting the results.
Before we move to another question, I want to know, what was as a ball boy, how was it to be in this stadium in the 70s maybe?
Yes, no, it was, imagine for me that
10 years old.
10 years old, you at that time, it was when Rexach, Sotil, Johan Cruyff, they were playing, they were my big references and the big stars, and it was unbelievable. When I was 10 years old and the days we were playing here in the stadium, as a ball boy, I was extremely nervous.
Nervous?
Very nervous. To do it correctly when I catch the ball, to pass the ball.
There is a way to cut the ball correctly?
Yes. There is a technique behind, and of course, very nervous. But something that when I was explaining this to my colleagues at the school, they were very jealous, of course, about this possibility. So I remember that days. Do
you remember your spot at the stadium?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Did you see it every time?
Yeah. It was just in front of here where I had my spot, and usually and normally you had the same spot every game.
How much they were paying you? They were paying you something?
They were paying you, not paying, but they were giving you after the games chocolate and a piece of cake. Yes, this was the payment.
But you are watching the game, watching the greatest players.
No. You would do that for free, of course, all your life.
You talk about the youth revolution. You took a big role in that yourself. How do you look at it in Barcelona?
For us, this is a question of being very proud. You have to think that this season, this specific season, is the season in the history of the club with more players created home, created in La Masia, formed in La Masia. This year we have 17 out of 25 players from the first team created home, and this is for us. It's something that it makes us very happy, and it's a question of proud. And it's a question of looking for your roots. This is exactly what we want, and this is what our members want, is to know that we are investing in our own players and creating them at home.
And creating a good team
yes,
that all
course,
the world watch and like to watch and admire. Based on your work till today, what do you think the most important legacy you will leave behind you? as a president of Barcelona?
Listen, my legacy is not it's not that I'm worried about my legacy. It's what I am worried about is what my job or what I have to do is to keep this tendency of growing, to try to reduce our debt, because we had a big debt economically speaking, but now we are reducing it dramatically, which is good news for us. To keep going with the investment in the youth teams. At the end is to maintain the club as it is, and trying to be a little bit better every year in all the different departments.
When you leave the club, you would like to leave it without any debts, of course.
Absolutely. This is for me is almost an obsession. Let's say it's not an obsession, but it's an objective is to reduce the debt as much as possible, because to grow, you need to have your financials in good shape.
And now the financial situation is
much better and improving. So we are very happy. And for the rest, socially, I want this club to grow socially. We have now 300 million supporters all over the world. I would like to live with 350, and the next president with 400 and 450. Is to keep going and to keep walking and to keep maintaining and growing a little bit every year, and this is what we should do.
There is one question. I was one day here watching one of the matches, and I saw a lot of flags from all the world. How do you feel when you are in this location and you see these flags from all over the world come to support Barcelona?
Very honored, because. Of course, we are define ourselves as a club from Catalonia. We are define ourselves a club from Barcelona, but we want to be defined as well as a global club and the club from the kids. What I love the most is when we travel around the world is in any country to see the kids supporting us. And
wearing the jersey of
Barcelona
and Qatar Foundation,
with whoever. But this is what we like the most, is to see that anywhere in the world there is a Football Club Barcelona shirt and the kid wearing the shirt, because this kid will be from Barcelona for life, and his son will be for Barcelona, and this is the history, the family history that we want to follow.
You made a stunning comment in reducing the number of the teams in the European leagues, like Premier Leagues and Liga here, to 16 teams, and also you demand or you asked to change the timing playing for the Champions League from during the week till the weekends.
Yes, no, my opinion is that a good scenario would be to reduce the national leagues to 16 teams, yes, and to double the Champions League, to double the number of teams in Champions League. That would help, or that would permit to play Champions League games during the weekend. I think that the future is to increase the competitivity of the national leagues. For this happening, you have to reduce the number of teams, and also to double the European clubs participating in the Champions League. This is my dream, my idea,
yeah, but
this is very complicated.
Do you think it's playing like with the 20 team in the Liga right now is affecting the performance of players, injuries, all that, plus the Champions League? And
is affecting that you play much more number of games during the year. This first, and second, it affects of the quality of the teams. If you reduce the number of the teams, you will increase the quality of the teams, because the offer of players will be higher, the demand will be lower, and then the teams will have the possibility to have better players with 16 teams, and then the competitivity of the league will increase.
Guardiola, why did he leave Barcelona?
Well, this is a question that you should do it to him, no?
I would love to.
But
I would love to ask him, because it's,
But what I can say about Guardiola is that with no doubt he has been the best coach of the history of the club, by far. and I think that will be very complicated or even impossible to improve what he did as a coach for the club.
Do you talk to him? There is any relation like these days with him?
I talked to him last summer. This is the last time I was talking. Yes, last summer, yes.
There is any way that in the future you foresee
Absolutely.
Guardiola to come back to his club?
This is his hometown and his home club, so doors open, not now during my mandate. It's doors of Barcelona will be open for him for life.
When you appointed Tito Villanova to succeed Guardiola, you said this is no surprise. And
I said that?
At all, this is no surprise to put him as
well,
as a
I don't
coach.
know if it was a surprise for the external world. For us, no, because what Guardiola did during the 4 seasons that he was coaching the first team of Barcelona, second coach was Tito. So it was work done by a team formed by Guardiola and Tito, so Tito knew everything. He was part of the decisions, he was part of all this success. So for us it was the normal and the logical substitution. That's why for us it was not a surprise. Maybe for others externally it was a surprise.
But
not for us.
do you think it was the right decision?
Absolutely, no doubt.
Yeah. How do
I would decide the same again.
Again, how do you analyze the job done by Tata Martino since he take it over from?
So far, so good. We like him very much as a person, as a coach. For him, you have to think that for him, what we ask him to do is not easy, because we ask him to substitute Tito Villanova when the pre-season started. He has just arrived one day, the day after he had to play games. So it's not the ideal situation to contract anybody in any organization. But Tata Martino is a very brave person and with a lot of acknowledgements for football, and he took the position, and for us so far he is the best person for this position.
You know, last year in Champions League, when Barcelona club didn't do well, and some of the best commentators observed Barcelona as a one-army man, and they were hinting for Messi on form and injuries. How do you comment on that?
Well, what I think is that we did not well during the 2 games against Bayern. During the championship, we did well. We finalized one of the first top 4 clubs in Europe, so it's not bad.
But when you do well, means you win the Champions League.
Well, yes,
that's Barcelona.
Yes. But you cannot win every year. League, Champions League, Kings Cup, because everybody has the same objective. It's not that Barcelona is the only one with this objective. Everybody has the same objective. And if you go in depth, I don't like to analyze games specifically, but if you go in depth and analyze the 2 games we played against Bayern Munich, you will see that 3 goals there were not legal. Were not legal.
So the referees again?
No, referees are human, and they mistake.
It's part of the game anyway.
So I'm not complaining on that, but this is the reality. 3 of the goals were illegal, and we played here without our best player, with Messi. So somehow could be even logical, and for the team was not easy moments when Tito came back from New York. Tough season. I mean, people have to understand that this is a human group with feelings, as everybody else, and within the group. What happened to Tito affected very much. Having said that, we had the best result in the history of the club for a league. We did 100 points that never happened before. So
it seems like you're saying Messi is the heart of this team. Like when he was
the heart is the group, but Messi, with no doubt, is the best player of the history of football for me, and of course the best player of our team. When Messi is not playing, of course any club notes that he's not in the team.
What are the Barcelona chance to retaining the Liga and to win the Champions League this season?
The same chances as any other club with the objective of winning both titles. Of course, we will be fighting and playing to win any title we are disputing. So far, this season we already have one title, which is the Spanish Super Cup, and we are still playing 3 more, and we will fight for the 3 of them, of course, as always.
Iniesta, Messi, even Victor, they reported they are not happy, or they are not happy about their contract, and there is rumors coming they are not going to be here next year. Can you tell us something about that?
First news for me.
Is it?
Yes.
So they are going to be here next year?
As far as I know, yes.
So
I don't know from where you...
No, because we read the newspapers everywhere in the world. They talk about Iniesta, that he's not happy about his contract.
Yeah.
Messi, there is some news says he's going to sign for and this Bayern Munich. And
yes, but you know, the problem is that there are so many newspapers talking about many things.
Yeah, because it's a very important club.
Yes, yes. But at the end, it's not what the newspaper says. The most important thing is what they think and what the club thinks, and this is not the case.
So Messi he's not going to leave Barcelona?
As far as I know, no.
And
but
Iniesta?
As far as I know, no.
Okay. Do you think what happened to Messi with the tax things affect his performance and his as a player?
I don't think so, because Messi is not taking care of his money, he's not taking care of his account, he's not taking care of the administrative side of his life. So I don't even, I'm sure that he didn't know anything about tax calculation and all this.
Of course.
So I don't think that this affected him, because he's not very interested in all these money things.
What they say, said wasn't true. Like he was trying not to pay taxes.
I don't know, because this is something that is between the government and himself, and the club is. But from the club, we will always, of course, support Messi for whatever he needs from our side. But I don't know the details, because this is private information for them.
But what happened there in the news and in the media, it bothered Messi, of course.
Yes, but again, I think that Messi thinks about football, and he doesn't care about money and taxes and all this. This is something else taken care of.
You know, next month is going to be the Golden Ball again, and you said that the best player in the history for you is Messi.
Yes.
Do you think he's going to win again?
Listen, if people voting is fair, and people voting things about last season, because this prize is considered for last season, 2012-2013. If you consider this 3-month season, he was injured, so he cannot be the best player now because he's injured.
He's not playing anyway.
So if he's not playing, he cannot be. No? But if you consider last season, with no doubt, he was the best in the world.
So he deserved to win.
By no doubt. The thing is that sometimes, and I said to him last year, you won. Last year he was the 4 times in a row best player of Ballon d'Or. When you see the same face 4 years, people want to change the face. And this is human. This is the way we are. The humans, we are like this. And I said, maybe you will not win, but not because you are not the best, because you are still the best. Maybe it's because somebody wants to see another face in the stage. But talking football and being fair, last season he was the best in the world.
So he deserved to win it
Absolutely.
For the 5th time.
Absolutely.
I think it's the record if he won it.
Yeah, no, it's already the record with 4, but yes.
last week wasn't a great week for Barcelona to lose 2 times in a row from Champions Leagues and the Liga. At the same time, we see Real Madrid doing very well with Ancelotti. Do you think Ancelotti is consulting the team? Is a strong team?
Listen, I talk about my team and my coach and my players. I never talk about another team because it's not respectful for me to talk about other teams and other coaches, and this is not my.
No, but as you know, Barcelona, Real Madrid, you see that team because you always compete with Real Madrid. You always
of course they are the historical rival for us, and of course when we play the Clásicos, it's a very nice event worldwide, no? But that's it. I mean, talking about Real Madrid, it is something that has to be done by the president, not by me.
You know, when I had an interview with Mr. Florentino Perez last month, and I asked him what the difference between Barcelona and Real Madrid clubs. I didn't have a very good answer, or he didn't like to talk about it. Would you like to talk about that, the difference between the two clubs?
Well, more than talking about the difference, I will talk about Barca, no? And then I would say we are a club that is owned by 170,000 people, 170,000, maybe are now 150 because we reduced the possibility of being member. But a club that represents a feeling of a country. It's a club with a lot of different ways of thinking. It's a very democratic club. It's a club that we care about all the sports. We have 12 other sports, investing a lot of money in other sports. We are a club very interested and dedicating a lot of resources to the youth academy, and Barcelona is a club that wants to create and to educate their own players instead of going to the market and buy.
You mean Real Madrid?
They're
buying. Well, that's true. Everybody knows that.
Then, if this is the case, this is the difference. Yes, but I explained to you who we are, and then the rest. People can compare by themselves whatever they.
But this is Barcelona, so.
This is Barcelona. This is Barcelona.
You know, every president or every fan of Barcelona want to see, like, if I'm asking you frankly, which player you wanted to see him in Barcelona? He's not in Barcelona now. In anywhere in the world. One player.
Listen, we are extremely happy with our players. We are 25 players now. But this is a decision that is not my decision. This is a decision that has to be done by Zubizarreta, by our technical director, and our coach. And they are the ones that know that they know much better than anybody else our needs and the players that we should looking for, if any. Because at the end it's something that has to be decided at the end of the season. Of course, you have to renew the team every year. This is, of course, and this is part of football. But this kind of decision is not my decision.
But you'd like to see a player as a person. You love some player somewhere else.
Yes, but I will not tell you, because if I explain to you the players I like immediately, people will start thinking that this is the player we want, which is not the case. I have my opinion as a fan, as a person, but not as a club.
You know, I saw an interview for you in Spanish, and you were saying there is one player in Real Madrid you love him so much.
Yes.
I couldn't understand. My Spanish was that good.
No, I did not say the name. It's true that I like one player from our rival very much.
You want him to be in Barcelona?
Why not? But I don't think so is the case, because
he's Spanish. No comment. Anyway, in January there is some weakness we see in Barcelona. A lot of people, analyzers, say that in the defense, And there is talking about Thiago Silva from Paris Saint-Germain.
Thiago Silva.
Yeah. Is he going to be in January? There is any player going to be in January in defense?
No, I don't think so. And the fact that people analyze that we are weak in defense, I disagree completely. Because this is the way we play. Normally, I would say 99.99% of the occasions, we control the possession of the ball, and this is why, and the reason why is because we play offensive, all-time offensive, all-time offensive. And of course, when you are playing offensive and sometimes you lose the ball, it's much more complicated to defend. If you defend, only defend, it's much more easy to defend. So it's not a question of our defensors, it's not a question of our players, it's a question of the system we have for life, that is offensive, offensive. We are always attacking for the beauty of the game as well. And this makes more complicated to defend, because if you analyze all our defensors or our players, I would say that probably they are the best or one of the best players in that position in the world. Piqué, Mascherano, Puyol, Bartra. They are, I would say, these four are the top 5 best central defenders in the world. You have Dani Alves and Montoya, and then you have Adriano and Jordi Alba. I would not change any.
So we're not going to see new players in January?
I don't think so. But this is not my decision. Again, if it arrives and Zubizarreta and Tata Martino ask us to contract any player, of course we consider their decision.
You know, some of the fans are watching, you know, back home or in the Middle East, they watch a lot of leagues, like Spanish leagues, Premier Leagues. They said, like, the Liga in Spain, is 90% of the games are one-sided, not like the Premier League.
Yes, no, it's true that, but this year is not the case. This year, in theory, there are three teams that are fighting, but still we're in the middle of the season. So this is too long. This is very long. This is something that happens in football, that a lot of people are taking conclusions now. Conclusions they have to be taken in May, not now. But in any case, this is part of the football. Yes, it's true that in Spain 2-3 teams maximum. In Italy they have 3-4 teams. In the Premier League they have 5. In France they have 2 now. Yeah. In Germany they have 1. So yes, maybe we should learn something from Premier League. That is probably the league with more teams with more chances to win the league. But this is the way it works.
Barca stood, you know, with Abidal during his tough days, but there is a feeling that you let him down after that. You didn't extend his contract.
Completely false. When Abidal was sick, we treated him as a sick person, and we supported him a lot. I would say a lot. I will not explain to you details, but more than expected. When he was ready and he was healthy, then we treated him as a football player, and it was a technical decision not to continue with him as a football player. Any other decision than this would have been also a decision for a sick person, which was not the case. So when he was sick, we treated him as a sick person and with a human treatment, and I would say more than expected for any other person. But once this is a professional decision,
You know, Malaga President Sheikh Abdullah, he said, like when they was in the Champions League and they lost to, and he said there was a racism in the way they treated or the referees, why they were out of the Champions League last season. Do you see any racism in football?
Listen, I don't think that there is any racism in football. I would say in the league, in the federation, in UEFA, in FIFA, no. In the referees, no. there is some racism maybe in some spectators, in some stadiums, in some cities in the world. And we all have to fight against this deeply, because this is very bad news for the human beings, for everybody. I mean, this is something that, of course, Barcelona is completely against, and we all have to fight this not happening. When it happens in some stadiums specifically, but not, I mean, racism in the world of football, no. Specifically in some stadiums, sometimes happens that a person is crazy and do this kind of racism that we don't like.
Also, Mr. Sheikh Abdullah bin Nasser, the president of Malaga, he said the distribution and even distribution of the TV rights affect the Spanish league.
It's not fair.
Yeah,
he said that.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Listen, at the end, market is the one that says the offer and the demand. If somebody offers more money to a club for their rights, this is the market, no? It's not that we are obliging anybody to pay us more than Malaga. This is the TV rights companies that offers whatever they think is the value of any of the club. But having said that, it's true that as a group, as a community, as a collectivity, we have to think as a group. We have to think as a league, and of course the big clubs we have to think about solidarity and helping other clubs. And so I could agree in a solution that help smaller clubs.
How big is Qatar's support to Barcelona?
Well, I think that the union between Football Club Barcelona and Qatar was extremely good for both parties. For us, of course, because thanks to Qatar, they help us to readdress our financial situation that was very weak in 2010. And thanks to them and thanks to this contract, they help us a lot to reduce our debt and to make the club profitable and to earn money and to reinvest in football, to reinvest in youth academy, to reinvest in players, etc., etc. And from the Qatar side, you should ask the Qatar people, but I think that, and you can answer the question more than myself, I think that Barcelona helped the visibility of the Qatar Foundation, when we started now Qatar Airways, to be very well known all over the world. You have to think that, if I'm not wrong, when Qatar Airways presented the advertising campaign with the plane arriving to the Football Club Barcelona land, it's a beautiful advertising campaign. In YouTube, only in 1 month they got more than 110 million viewers.
Wow.
I think, if I'm not wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, but this is the figure I have in my head. So imagine what does it mean for both. So if I would have the possibility to sign this contract again, I would do it again.
Was there any major conflict with the board when you took the UNICEF from the...
No, because to the assembly, due to the case that was a decision, historical decision, what we decided was to present this decision to our assembly. The assembly is at the end is the boss of the club. More than the president, the assembly is the first one to decide any decision in this club. And then we presented the decision to the assembly, and the decision in the assembly was presented, was explained, and was voted. And 90% of the total votes were in favor of this contract. So there is no doubt that the club wanted this contract, even though then you can read or you can listen or you can hear decisions against, but this is individual decisions. The collectivity, the group of people, 90% of our members decided yes to put Qatar on the shirt.
You've been to Qatar, I think, a few times before,
Many times.
and we have met before. How do you see the World Cup in Qatar 2022?
I think that is great for the area, for Middle East. Middle East never had a great event, a worldwide event, such a World Cup. So I think that Middle East deserves to host a big event like World Cup, and I'm absolutely in favor of this happening, no doubt. And of course, now it's a big discussion if Qatar can have World Cup, because in summer will be 45 degrees. But once we know that all the stadiums will be air conditioned if necessary, I don't see any problem in organizing World Cup.
Do you think Qatar will organize, as they said, the best?
I have no doubt that Qatar will organize properly the World Cup 2022.
You are now they're putting like between summer and
Yes.
winter, and they're gonna go for winter, sometime between November to December. What time you see?
Listen, whatever FIFA decides, we will give our opinion from the clubs and we will give our advice. But once the decision will be taken, I'm sure that Qatar will be ready to organize it in winter or summer independently.
But you prefer it?
I prefer summer.
Summer.
I prefer summer than winter, because in Spain we don't cut the season in the middle. But other countries like Russia, they prefer winter. So it's not a common opinion throughout Europe. Different countries, they have different opinions. So at the end, whatever decision will be taken by FIFA, we will support, of course. We are in the world of football after giving them our advice and our opinion. But I'm sure that Qatar will be ready for both options.
What you would like to say to them, all the fans who love Barcelona?
Listen, I know through some surveys we did that the majority of people in Middle East supports Barcelona. I would encourage them to keep going and supporting Barcelona, not the number of people supporting us, but even more. The ones that are supporting other clubs, I invite them to support us as well and to increase the percentage of people supporting us in Middle East.
What would you say to Qatar, the government?
Well, the same, that we are very happy and very delighted to have such a relationship. And so far I can only say nice words about Qatari people, Qatari government, and the relationship we have so far is extraordinary.
Mr. Russell, Mr. Sandro Rosell, thank you very much for your time, and thank you for everybody work in the club, to all the help they did to us and make everything easy. Thank you very much.
Thank you to you, and more than welcome whenever you want in Barcelona.
Thank you.
Thank you.